What's everybody? It is Court and Roger from Restaurant Marketing University. Roger's from the Restaurant Rockstars. We're here to answer some of your most asked questions. Roger is a operations guru, and so we've got some questions here. And so, Roger, ready to roll?
Absolutely. Hey everyone. Welcome.
Good deal. All right. So, question number one, Roger, is: all right, I'm a restaurant owner. I've got a tight budget. What's the best way that I can invest in marketing to get immediate results? I need to get a quick ROI. What would you say?
So it's all about pennies on the dollar versus a dollar for a dollar cash. And everything you do should be trackable. So I had a lot of success whenever I opened a new restaurant or I just wanted additional business at certain times. I used influencers. Now, that's a big word, and it doesn't necessarily mean what you think it is, but it means people that are in a position to send business to your restaurant for an incentive. These could be Uber drivers or cab drivers. They could be hotel concierges. They could be owners or managers of other tourist businesses. When people come to town and they say, hey, what's a good place to eat? And they're not familiar with the local area, the Uber driver says, oh, let me take you there, or here's a place. And literally you give them business cards or something with your logo identification on it. And all you have to do is ask them to stamp the back of whatever it is you give them as, as proof that it came in the door. And then you track this. And then you give them a gift card for pennies on the dollar. It's your food cost. It's not a dollar on the dollar. And that drove tons of business into all my restaurants.
Love it. Uber drivers, that's smart. I haven't thought about that because they're going to be talking to people. Where should we go eat? It's like the taxi drivers, right? Of back
That
in the day.
question comes up all the time. Even, yeah, I mean, I do it too. When I go to a new city and I jump in an Uber and I say, hey, where do you like to go to eat? Or what's a great place, And instantly they think of your place, especially if there's an incentive to do it. And then they try your place. You give them a great experience when they come in the door. You treat them like VIPs, and then they're going to send you lots of business.
That is a brilliant idea. I am going to write that down and implement that. That is a really smart idea. What would you say if, someone's just starting up and they want to set up their social media and they want to get like their online presence going? Where would you say they should start first?
Well, not everyone is a social media guru or an expert like you are, Court, or even myself, but know that if you have a restaurant, you have lots of creative people that are on social media all the time, and they have an audience and they have followers, and they know what to post and when to post and what platforms are best, and you would empower them to create your social media campaign for an incentive, of course. You'd be surprised at how effective the campaign could be. And I
Yeah.
did that too. I employed people in my restaurant to be my social media team, and they were great at it. And they were constantly in the restaurant taking photos of what my guests were having fun and the plates coming off the kitchen and just all kinds of creative stuff. And I loved it. I said, great job. Keep it going. And it really worked. And we got positive feedback about it too.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a great way. I mean, Gary Vee talks about it all the time. I mean, posting on Instagram, social, is free, and if you can
Hmm.
get your
Oh,
staff
yeah.
and get them to
Right.
buy in, and maybe you have someone that's really good and maybe you pay them a little extra to help you run your social media every month, maybe if they really take charge of it. But yeah, I mean, you've got people working your restaurant that know how to work TikTok and Instagram.
Hmm.
Seems like
Yep.
they're the first place to go, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what I found. I
Yeah.
found that to be true. And,
Yep.
restaurant owners and GMs, do you really have the bandwidth to take on yet one more thing? Or can you empower your team to do that and many things and then incentivize them to help you build and run your business and grow a brand? I always found that to be super smart.
Okay. Very good. Very good. Next question. You're a restaurant or you're a seafood restaurant
Mhm.
opening in 90 days. Okay. What's your grand opening plan? You got 90 days to get butts in seats. What are you gonna
Okay,
do?
so that's a takeoff of the influencer idea, and we'll start there, and then there's
Okay.
another spin on that.
Okay.
So whenever I was opening a new place, think about anyone who is a leader in the community, the president of the Chamber of Commerce, perhaps, or the mayor of your town, or business owners that have high traffic businesses, that sort of thing. I always invited them to a soft opening and I gave them a free meal, which was an investment in their confidence in what I'm doing and in their future promotional ability. That's the first piece. Going back to that Uber driver or hotel concierge idea, I believe that every restaurant should come up with a cash cow or series of cash cows. And this is something that may be a signature item on your upcoming menu that you're going to sell a lot of, but you got to figure, can I come up with something that doesn't cost very much to produce, yet I can charge a really great price for it based on perceived value, what it looks like, what it smells like, what it tastes like, and how it's presented, but yet it costs less than $1. And I've got lots of ideas on what those things are. And sometimes they're a byproduct of something that you're already going to make that's an extra part of it. And I can go into detail on that if we had the time. But let's just say you come up with the cash cow. I did this numerous times when I was opening a new place, and I created a 4-color coupon on heavy stock, and it had a professional photograph of the cash cow, and then it all had I call it superlative copy. It's fantastic, amazing, stupendous, absolutely free, ta-da, and there's the picture of it. And then in the corners, it was like $10 value because that's what I charged on the menu for my most popular items that were cash cows. And then I went around to local businesses that were not restaurants. Again, I drove around my community within, say, a 3-mile radius of cities or towns or whatever, and identified high traffic businesses that had lots of customers coming and going all the time, introduced myself to the owner or the manager and said, hey, I'm Roger. I'm opening up this new seafood place, and I would love to introduce your customers to my business and give them something absolutely free. Here's a coupon. If you agree to pass these out, no strings attached, pass it out to your coupon to your customers. And again, stamp the back with a way I can track it. And now I'm going to give you 10% back in trade at my restaurant for every dollar that comes in the door that you send me before tax. And you can come in with your wife or your partner or whoever. You can give it to your employees for staff incentives, and they can use it, and they can just come in, sit down, and sign the check and use the gift card and not pay anything. And again, pennies on the dollar. That was a huge idea. Some of these businesses, whenever I opened a new restaurant, literally within 2 or 3 months sent me $10,000 to $15,000 of business that I wouldn't have gotten on my own in the door, seeding the marketplace. But then I wanted to hook them. It's like I knew that I was going to train my staff to deliver hospitality and give great customer service experiences. I knew we cared about quality. We were making lots of things fresh from scratch. And I knew my ambiance was going to be special. But I wanted to make sure I got you back in for another visit. So once the coupons started working and I started tracking these and the customers were happy and the businesses were happy that sent it, I'm like, okay, what can I do to give these people something to get them back in again? I'm at this convenience store and I'm waiting in line because the person in front of me can't decide all these rolls of colorful lottery tickets and sweepstakes this and, jackpot that. And suddenly it struck me, what if I create a custom branded lottery ticket to my business that's got my logo on it, it's got a catchy sweepstakes name, it's got the scratch off where you pull a quarter out, and every ticket is a winner, although the recipient doesn't know that, okay? Yeah. And when do we give these out? In the check presenter after the person pays the check or whatever, or you give them back their change, that sort of thing, new customers coming in the door, that sort of thing. And that immediately is the hook where they say, oh, wow, I'm going to pull out a quarter. And there might be 5 little squares on there. And the first one says, try again. Okay, try again. And then the third one hits. Oh, you're a winner. Ding, ding, ding. And what do they win? They win a cash cow. So you need 4 or 5 different cash cows. You shuffle the tickets randomly because you don't want anyone to get the same, cash cow, but you get the idea. And that was huge too. What I didn't tell you was the first coupon had an average check of $85 because it wasn't just one person that came in. It was usually 2 people, okay? And sometimes 3, but the average of all the ones I tracked were $85. And it was less than the cost of a buck for the cash cow I gave them to get them in the door. They spent $85. And now when the lottery tickets came back, the average check was another 80 to 90 bucks, somewhere in that range. And I'm like, wow, I hit the jackpot, especially with this lottery ticket idea. So, it's old school marketing, but it's catchy and it's a hook and it's fun for the guest and they won't forget you.
Love it.
So I do that.
Yeah. What do you think about, this is something we've done, is bringing in like an influencer night. Mm-hmm. And so you can, invite in those influencers, and you talked about the soft launch, but I'm also thinking about like people that have big Instagram followings, right?
Absolutely.
Especially that are hyper targeted people, in your community. Invite them in, bring out a ton of dishes and just say, hey, take pictures and videos, try it. I mean, that's something that's worked really well for us.
Genius. Absolutely. Yeah. So if you can identify who those people are and get them into the place and give them an experience and just ask them, hey, share this. If you're having fun, share this. Yeah. Wow. Again, pennies on the dollar, your food costs, give them an experience and it'll more than pay off in results, I think.
Excellent. Excellent.
That's
Next
cool,
question. You talked about these cash cows and these coupons. So how do you do that without cheapening your brand? And this is something I hear from owners a lot is, I don't like giving away food. I don't like, doing a bunch of discounts. It cheapens our brand. What would you say to someone like that?
Yeah, I'm not a believer in discounts either because agreed, once you give someone a discount, they never want to pay full price for something. But if you give it to them for free, there's the value add. You're not charging them anything for it. And then if they like the dish and they come in another time and they don't have the coupon, they're going to pay full price for it. Because again, it's all about perceived value. If you deliver something for free that looks like $1 million and they taste it and they love it and it becomes your most popular dessert or appetizer or whatever it is, they're more than likely to not only come back for it, but maybe even take a photo of it and share that on their social media saying, oh my God, this dessert is just kick ass. And I just had it at such and such a place, So yeah, discounts cheapen things, but giving away for free certainly does not. It's throw them a bone, give them a pickle. It's like, it's a hook. I've always looked at it as a hook.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. You got to reel them in. But one thing that people tell me is, well, I don't want people just come in here and get that offer and they leave. Like they just get the one thing.
You had to buy something. No. You had to buy something. You had to, obviously you had to have a couple drinks. You had to order food. You had to sit at a table. So it may not necessarily work if you're a drive-through place because people have to buy something to get something. But again, I don't think, I think, yes, there are always going to be people that want to take advantage of a situation. But I think for the most part, good people feel guilty if they're just coming in saying, yep, give me the freebie, and then I'm out the door, and never allow it to be a takeout item. It's got to be a sit-down thing where a server would come up and, go through the whole experience. And, that's how it worked for me.
Yeah.
But you're absolutely right.
Yeah, I agree. I think for the most part, people are going to do the right thing. And especially, like if you have like your cash cow of like, let's say Parmesan fries, something. And someone comes in, I really don't think many people will just get that and leave. I really think that, people will come in and get it.
Exactly. And especially if you have a bar, they're going to have a cocktail or two, which is profitable to sell. And again, if your cash cow is less than a buck, then you don't really care. It's like you're introducing someone to your place. If they have a great experience, more than likely they'll come back again. But it's all about treating people really special and giving VIP service and all that kind of stuff. And that's a whole nother angle. The hospitality piece, training your people on hospitality is absolutely essential.
Tell me how should you train your people on hospitality?
Okay, so hospitality is all about product and restaurant knowledge. It's being a student of your restaurant because guests ask questions all the time of the staff, and a negative impression, there's nothing worse than a guest asking a question and the person being untrained, unknowledgeable, unfamiliar, and saying, "Oh, I don't know. Let me go ask my manager." I can't think of anything worse. And you got to put your best foot forward. So we constantly kept people on their toes. We quizzed them. We pulled pop quizzes. We had weekly recognition and rewards programs. We had role playing exercises. We did all kinds of stuff that not only trained people in their menus, knowing your menu inside and out, in order to make a suggestion we know the guest will enjoy and appreciate, but also what's unique and special and different about my restaurant. What are the hooks? What sets you apart from the competition? Because guests are interested, and it's conversation starter, and it's creating a relationship. And chances are, if you use your unique personality with product and restaurant knowledge, guests are going to ask for you the next time when they come back. And that's the thing. It's creating a relationship with each and every customer and letting them know what's special. And that increases the check, that increases the spending, and it increases the tip or the gratuity that the staff person gets.
I love it. 1,000% agree, but I'm going to play devil's advocate.
Sure.
Owners, managers, they're busy. And as you know, staff is in and out, right? Changes all the time.
For sure.
What's the game plan to stay on top of it? Because, if you're not addressing those things, how often should you address those, and how do you do it?
Everything we're talking about is in the Restaurant Rockstars Academy is a turnkey series of systems. Okay, so there's a cost control and profit maximization system. There's a staff training, hospitality, and salesmanship module. There's a marketing module, and some of the ideas we're talking about and more, all that are trackable. So you know where the business is coming from and what the ROI is. And best of all, you can actually empower anyone in your team to take on any of these courses or lessons, learn something, implement it in your business, and then we've got a whole idea of what incentives you can give them for doing this to improve your business. So yeah, if you got a link to that course, you could certainly share, but it's turnkey, and it's everything we're going to talk about today is literally in the Academy.
Absolutely. And I will drop a link below, and I will just say to everybody watching, if you not want to level up your restaurant, the Restaurant Academy is like a master level course. It's got so much good stuff in there. You will get your ROI immediately. So go check that out, Roger. You've put together a really great
Thank you, course. Yeah.
So
thanks very much.
Okay. Here's a question. How do you measure success of your staff? So you talked about you got to train them. How do you measure whether they're doing a good job or not?
I would measure that by team spirit and respect. You'll know if you've created a company culture, if you have low turnover and longevity of people, and then if you have recognition and rewards for people, it up levels morale, hospitality increases, the guests have a better experience. But underlying all this is always being on the lookout for talent. And when someone has got a unique personality, or they've got a great approach, or they show some initiative, always create opportunities for them to rise up in your organization so they don't want to leave and they don't want to go somewhere else. And I call that creating intrapreneurs. I love the word intrapreneur. Everyone knows that an entrepreneur is someone who takes a risk to start a business in the hopes of making a profit. And the business owner, your audience, listening and watching, some of you, right, you've taken this huge risk. You've started a business. It costs money. You've got your future on the line here. And you're hiring people and you're bringing them into your business, and you're giving them an immediate opportunity to have their own small business within your business. They can make really great money with no risk and no stress, and they come in and they leave, and you have to handle all the logistics of business. But if you train them to take on a piece of your business and run it like they owned it and had to pay for it, and you incentivize them to take this on and take on additional responsibility, that's creating a dream team. And not everyone is going to want to do that. And if you got a great fry cook that's all they want to do, but they're an amazing fry cook or a line cook or whatever, you want to keep those people. You want to incentivize them to stay. But creating this culture where everyone feels the respect, you give people a voice where their opinion matters, you listen to their ideas, you implement some of those ideas, that's a dream team right there. So that's what I would say. That's how you measure the success of staff.
Awesome. Roger, such fabulous information today. Where can people find you?
Well, you can email me, Roger, Roger, at restaurantrockstars.com. That's my website. And yeah, go to Court's link. And yeah,
Uh,
awesome. That was
I'll
fun.
drop it below. Yeah. And you can check us out at the Restaurant Marketing University. You can get marketing training so you can level up your marketing and get butts in seats. So, Roger, thank you so much. I always learn something new. I'll talk to y'all soon.